Hello everyone, welcome back. Today I'll be playing out the top 8 of the Season 18 championships for the Community Premodern Series. That's the online Premodern League. And this is the top point getters from Season 18 have a top 8 playoff for the title. So it's kind of the best of the best from Season 18. I'm playing Moneyball Black again. Small tweaks from last time I played it. I'm playing a Bane of the Living in the main deck. I cut Spinning Darkness for a Funeral Charm. I moved the Phyrexian Arena to the sideboard and cut the extra one. I have 2 Glooms, which I think I didn't have before, but I might be wrong. And I have an extra Funeral Charm as an extra like early anti-aggressive deck card. Turns out this choice was not great for the spread of matchups people are playing in the tournament, but it's still okay. So yes, we will move on to those matches. Before I do, remember to like and subscribe if you are enjoying the content. And congrats to Sebastiano Gabrielli, I believe is the name. For winning Spanish Nationals with a version of this deck that is pretty close to what I had been playing. It's a little bit different. It has a couple more Phyrexian Arenas and Masticores and 4 Wastelands and no Scrolls or Nantuko Shades. So it's an interesting build. I do think those changes make sense with each other, but it's not how I would do it. But anyway, he won the tournament, so congrats to him. And I'll go ahead and link to that deck list or all the lists from that tournament, the Spanish Premodern Nationals tournament. And I will link to my previous video as well for this deck. And with that, we will move on to the top 8. This is kind of a weird one. I will keep it. Might be kind of loose. Turn 1 Duress though. Plus, it's a good card in the matchup. They're going to 5. Not great for them. Although, this hand's kind of like a mold of 6 because that extra swamp's probably not going to do a ton. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I don't think I care too much about the Mox Diamond in this scenario, so let's take the swords. Maybe sandbag some lands so we can remove some lands post Armageddon. Okay, that's pretty good draw. Just want to make sure they can't play this and flash it back all in one turn, but I don't think they can, because they would need to use the Mox Diamond to activate Withered Wayfarer. I mean, unless they draw a red source off the top, which would be pretty devastating. So is it worth like sacrificing a wretch to get that from them? Seems kind of bad. I could also just send a wretch in, force them to sack both these lands, and then they have to stop activating Withered Wayfarer. It's kind of an interesting idea, actually. Interesting idea, not necessarily a good idea. I think I'm supposed to just take the risk here. Another Windswept Teeth. Sure. I don't think I want to risk them playing and flashing back the Volcanic Spray in a turn. It's too risky. It's possible I should have got rid of the factory instead of one of these wretches, but the factory holds back their treetop a little bit better. And they can't search for Wasteland anymore because I got rid of their Wayfarer, so I don't know. It's tricky. Okay. I will take 3. I think I can cut some rituals in this matchup. It's not a blazing fast kind of matchup. I can trim a rats, and I can bring in Dystopias. Definitely want those, and Crypt. I think I want that. Do I want anything else? Negator is okay. Arena's all right. Spitter could be okay. Maybe I want to trim a therapy. Bane is medium. I guess it's a way to kill their smaller creatures, although it's very slow. Funeral Charm can kill Wayfarer, but it doesn't do a ton other than that. So maybe Spitter is better. Do I want the arena here? I guess I kind of want it. But I also want to kill... I think I'll just go with this. Because I do want to be able to kill that Withered Wayfarer. It's a pretty annoying card. Board out Dark Ritual, draw Dark Ritual. That's how it always goes. I will keep. I think it's a decent hand, not amazing. Has a Duress, though. If you can't tell, I like Duress a lot. Okay. I feel like this Muse could definitely be something I ride to victory, so I'm going to save the Ritual and try and Ritual out the Muse next turn. Deep Analysis. Not exactly a card I want to take, but I don't have a choice, so there it goes. Pretty duress resistant hand there. All right, so is my opponent going to Deep Analysis or play Meddling Mage? Yeah, it makes a lot more sense to play Meddling Mage at this juncture. I don't even know what they should name here. They also don't know. I mean, maybe Dystopia, just because it's a good card. But I really have no idea. Withered Wretch, also quite reasonable. It is very good against their Terravore. I do have 4 of them, so yeah, that probably makes more sense. Oh, God. Well, okay. Really need them to not name Nantuko Shade, which I don't think is going to be high on their list. I need this Muse to draw me out of this. I wouldn't say I'm in... I mean, I guess it's kind of an even spot, but I wouldn't say I'm in an amazing position here. looking for a land and or answer to Graveborn Muse. Looks like they didn't find either of them. Or they didn't find a land, I guess. Okay, that's a good one. Get in. Now the question is, what do I play? The mana efficient play would be to play Dystopia. And I probably should do that. But if I don't, I could maybe get one extra card with it. I think I'm going to try and be a little greedy here. I don't know if it's actually greedy. I'm going to play the Shade, though. It might just be like the right play. They are already at 11. And this is definitely some pressure. All right, they did find the swords. That's okay. If they want to trade with Factory, I think that's okay. Because then I can play another Shade if they want to. Yeah, I'd rather them trade with Factory than trade with Shade, I think. But I have to play the Swamp in order to be able to pump the Shade out of range. I guess they could get me with Volcanic Spray. I can't imagine they left that in, but if they did, it could be a blowout. Oh, they're not even blocking. All right, well, now I have a choice, don't I? I was just thinking about Volcanic Spray, but there's no way that's in their deck. But I guess that it's theoretically possible. I'm just going to pump, I guess, because I'm afraid. Of course, if I was going to do this, I should have played the Factory. But whatever, they're at 5. They're in a bad spot. Call of the Herd, sure. Okay, I could make this a 5-4, trade with both, or I could just get the Dystopia down now. I think I should probably do that. And like if they kill a Rats and a Shade, it's not as bad. All right, so let's start off with Ratsing them. I mean, yeah, I probably could have just won here. But I guess I'm playing kind of conservatively, which maybe is not right. Does this... Oh, there's no more ordering, but I think I can still just assign it to the mage. Well, let's see. Yeah. Yep, out there. Okay, we're here in the top 4 of the championships. This is a good hand. I'll keep it. We're up against Bant, Terravore with Oath in the sideboard. Kind of an interesting one. Go ahead and ritual and see what we're working with here. Swords, Mox Diamond, Terravore. Okay. Take the swords and play a Withered Wretch. I don't think we need to use the other ritual. Okay, what do I want to do here? I think it could be worth getting rid of this port. It's pretty annoying. Don't have a ton else going on. Oh my gosh, I just got it all in this game. I apologize to my opponent here. I happen to have the Funeral Charm for the Wayfarer. I'm just going to kill it now. So if they draw Cataclysm, it's kind of bad to play Wretch here, but if they don't, it's pretty good. They only have a couple of them. I do kind of want to get this game over before too long here, so. Interesting they didn't, or they held the land there. Not totally sure what to make of that. All right, I will hold this other land because I do want to rebuild after a Cataclysm, potentially. Or an Armageddon, I have that too. Library, all right. I guess I'll exile these things. I don't think that matters. I think there's some value in playing a Rats here. Actually, yeah, I think it's okay. It does, yeah, I mean, it does put them dead if they don't find anything. I'm assuming they'll probably find something here, but it's going to have to be, there's a narrow list of things it can be. All right, so they're probably going to board into Oath. And it looks like they have Curse Totem and Compost and Enlightened Tutor. They got some stuff. Okay, so I don't have a ton against any of that. I just want these Dystopias and the Arena and the Negator probably. Not even sure. Do I want Negator? I definitely want these three. Funeral Charm. I think I want the Crypt too. All right, so what do I not want here? Scroll actually isn't bad. They have Wayfarer and Meddling Mage. This is weirdly a matchup where I think Ritual is not that great. It's kind of a grindy affair. I'm going to board a couple Rituals, and I think Rats is also not that amazing here. I think I can board out maybe two of these. I don't think I want the last Therapy. Scroll also is... They just have so many lands. The value of the discard is a little compromised, especially if they're on the play. They can Mox Diamond into anything. I think actually Negator is good, which does make me want to keep at least two of these Rituals. So maybe I could board out a Scroll. Scroll's actually kind of good though, because it like counteracts a lot of the stuff they're boarding in. Or it's a different angle, I should say. I could like board out one Shade since they have Curse Totem. Kind of hedge against that. This Bane, no, Bane's good. Bane's good. I think all my removal is good. I want that. I could Plague on Human. That seems a little, that's like too much too much work there. I think this is good. Do I want this third ritual? No, I don't need it. We'll give this a try. Probably, maybe I should have boarded out one of these scrolls. But they do have a lot of creatures that die to it. Okay, this is a reasonable hand. I mean, it's not amazing, but it has Withered Wretch, which is the best card in a vacuum. Sylvan, okay. Yeah, let's roll out this Withered Wretch. And I hit the land instead of playing this Curse Scroll because I feel like I'll be able to play the Curse Scroll at some point. What they're they're getting Oath. Okay, interesting. Just gonna try and Oath into that Exalted Angel, I guess. Okay. I guess they're kind of trying to outrun or outpace my Wretch, so I am going to leave up some mana to exile lands here. Interesting question if I want to play the Wasteland here to like make my scroll better. I don't think we're quite to that point yet. I'm just going to play the Swamp. All right, they have achieved liftoff with their Terravore. Oh, I should probably exile this Call of the Herd, huh? I'm going to exile my own factory in case I draw my Tormod's Crypt. All right, we're facing down an 8/8. Not the most ideal position. Interesting, they got rid of the totem. I guess that makes some sense. But if I can draw my Tormod's Crypt, I'll be in good shape. Otherwise, or removal spell, I can at least keep playing. That's not really going to do it. A little late on that one. Okay, yeah, they got me. So I guess Scroll is less good, although I don't think any of these other cards would have been much better. Can take out one of these and bring in, I guess just bring in Shade back or Rats. Yeah, if they're oathing, I guess all of the creatures are coming out. So Funeral Charm is less appealing there. On the play, Cabal Therapy does get better. Yeah, I think this is fine. I think we're going to keep. I think it's good enough to keep. Probably plan to go double shade next turn. It's a little awkward, but I think it's still okay. Compost. All right. So what is the play here? I think it's probably just get this Dystopia down and make them deal with it. Get rid of the compost. Both. Yep. Okay, so they could have any number of things here. They could have swords, they could have disenchant, or ray of revelation. A lot of things. I am in a pay, obviously. They could go Cataclysm next turn. So I gotta carefully consider what I want to do here. I think what makes sense to do is just pump each of these once and leave up Diabolic Edict. All right, they had the disenchant. Not too surprised about that. They got a Terravore. Yep, that's fine. Morph. That's legit. Okay. Yeah, I think I gotta just use my mana here. All right, well, we don't have the luxury of waiting around anymore, so I think I just have to activate here and get in. Can put them to 1. Oh my god. Is that better than just playing another Shade? Maybe not. It probably is. No, because I want an extra blocker next turn, I think. Well, so they're going to get a Terravore, and then they're going to get a Call of the Herd, but their thing will still be a 2/2. This puts them to 7. And this way a removal spell, I think, gives me the game next turn. So yeah, I think I'm supposed to just pump these things. Oh no, they have a swords. They do have swords. Okay. Sure. Well, they don't get to Oath now. So it's not the worst thing ever. Okay, well, I am going to attack. Kind of surprised they didn't attack and flip, because I don't have enough to kill them. I mean, I can, yeah, I'm going to make them do this, I guess. Make them have swords as their last card if that's what they have. Sure. Okay, they got an 8/8 Terravore, that's fine. Probably too risky for me to try oathing here. So I will not do it. Duress. I do want to make sure, okay, that's a Ray of Revelation. Okay. So do I want a Shade or do I want a Specter? I can take 2 hits from this and not die. So I think I want to get the Specter out. Well, No, I probably need to get the shade out, actually. This makes my attacks better. This will kind of force the issue, I think. Got a tutor for Curse Totem, I guess. Yep. All right, that's okay. They're at 6, so we might be able to race them with the scroll and just attacking. Or they have to be careful about attacking, I guess. I think it's relevant to hit one of their lands here. Could be wrong. All right, now we got to close the game before they find like an Armageddon or something. It's a very awkward draw. This is a very strange game. All right. Can't really play Hypnotic Specter right now. I need to just pass the turn. Okay, I can attack here, and if they block, they don't get to Oath. Yeah, I think I just make them try to have an answer for scroll right now. That is not it. Interesting game. We are here in the finals. We are on the play. It's versus blue-green splash white madness. This hand is not great, but is it a mulligan? I know there are 3 colors. I know that Wasteland should be good against them. It's not a great matchup, but there's not really like one specific card that would make it better if it was in my hand. So we're going to try, man, I don't know. This is borderline. It's on, I mean, it's on the side. It's kind of bad, but I don't like mulliganing. And like Rats and Hypnotic Specter are not even that good in this matchup, and I don't have either of those. I'm going to try keeping. It is missing like a Duress or a Cabal Therapy. All right, they mulliganed. We're going to have to draw well, but they went to 5. Certainly a good sign. All right, see if we get punished. Lead with an island, can't wasteland that. Drew a swamp, that's horrible. Do they play days? They do play days. All right, let's, I mean, we have all these lands, so I'm gonna try and play around days. Although they also have mana leak, so maybe that's a mistake, but we'll try it. Okay. I am going to try and get them with this Wasteland. Smother was a good draw. I don't really think there's any reason to wait till their upkeep, but I did it anyway. That's just a habit. Okay, and they are missing a land. Which is kind of what I thought might happen. Play this Wretch. Play a Factory. All right, we are getting very lucky, which is what we need, because this is not a good matchup. That's not a good draw. But it's okay, we're just gonna beat down. We might like discard a Root Wall into play or something. Yep. Okay, that's fine. I wasn't gonna try and kill it in a turn because I'm trying to play around days here. That's an insane draw. I think like if they want to chump block, I'm okay with that. Aquamoeba. Yep. All right, I'm going to try and smother the Aquamoeba. Yeah. Just didn't draw any lands there. Okay, well, I definitely need, yeah, it's definitely helpful to get that first game because this matchup's bad, and I think it gets worse after sideboarding for me because they have Sword Splashers and Mystic Enforcer and a couple Naturalizes and the fourth Survival. They're playing 3 main, 1 on the board, so I'm assuming they will bring that in because it's very good. So I think because of that, I need to try and bring in this Cabal Therapy to try and nab Survival and or Wild Mongrel and or Arrogant Worm before they can play it for its madness costs and Mystic Enforcer. So there's many cards I need to try and hit with Cabal Therapy. I don't think I can afford to play Arena, despite how that game went. They're an aggressive deck, so I think that's like not a great idea to board into that. I'm going to take out Funeral Charm. I want these 4 for sure, and I think I also want Negator just as like a large creature that can make racing scary for them. So I think I want to take out Specter, take out a couple of Rats, take out the Funeral Charm. And I think I have to leave in a couple Rats and a couple of Specters, even though they're not ideal here. I could also bring in 1 Plague for their Root Wallas. I'm not sure if that's a good idea, but I think I will try it. And we'll try this configuration. Crypt is also kind of interesting to like circumvent circular logic and Mystic Enforcer, sort of, and Squee and Wonder. Like it has some uses, but I don't ultimately think it's quite worth it. Okay, this is a good hand. I mean, it's got Wretch, it's got Curse Scroll, it's got Ritual. They mulliganed again. So with the Wretch, we can at least kind of control a survival, assuming it doesn't get killed. These colorless lands are a bit awkward, I won't lie. I feel like they probably took out a Null and Daze, so I don't think I would get dazed here. If I did get dazed, it could be pretty bad. So what does that mean? Should I just wait? I don't think I can really afford to wait, though. They also have Naturalize, which could just... It's a very awkward situation. I'm going to play a Swamp. And they could always circular logic it later. I think I'm just going to try this. Roll out my cards. Play Withered Wretch. Play Curse Scroll. Okay, they got an island. Survival. Yep, that's good, but I do have the Wretch to kind of handle it. And that was a good draw. They didn't daze. It wouldn't have been very good for them to daze then. It'd be less bad for them to daze now. So I could play Shade, or I could just try and cut off their green. I think, that's tricky. I think I am going to try and cut off their green. am I? Yeah, I think I am going to. Okay, they have a plains. They have an Aquamoeba. All right. It's a deal. I want to exile lands because of circular logic. What's the play here? I think the play is just play Shade. I don't think they have days in their deck. Yeah. No point attacking. I would not want to make that trade, I don't think. Okay, they are stuck without any green mana. All right. So let's see. They can make this a 3-1 and trade. I can only pump it to a 4-3, so I cannot. Well, I could try to Dark Ritual. And then what? They could try to Circular Logic, but they can't. They could try to Mana Leak it, which I guess they could, but then it's still just a 1-for-1. That seems all right, although maybe getting Negator down is better. I think, I don't really think they can afford to block. I'm gonna get in with a Shade. Yeah, they did block. So let's see. I pump once. They madness that. Okay. Okay. Maybe I should just let this go. They could have a swords here. That would be kind of annoying. But then it's the swords they don't have for my Negator. I think it's okay to try this. Can't do anything else with that mana, so. They did not have the swords. Pretty sure they would use it there. Yeah, this Wasteland has really devastated them this game. They really needed that green mana. I think, yeah, they still don't have a land. Yeah, it's basically over at this point. I think here, I mean, they can't really discard anything at instant speed, so. And they only have white. I mean, they could sword something, but. Oops, I've meant to animate that factory. Oh well. We can leave back a shade here. Swords that, sure. I should have got in with the factory. That was a little bit of a mistake. And now I will do what I probably should have done the previous turn and scroll on upkeep. Leave open a pump. Yeah, well, they just never drew any green mana, so that makes it tough. Okay, GG's.
Okay, we have won the Season 18 championships. A little bit of an anticlimactic finish there against blue-green, white, where they kind of got mana screwed / color screwed, but you know, that's why Wasteland is a good card. And we drew one of the two that we have, so that's why you play them. Not exactly how I was expecting that to go. So I don't know what else. I learned recently that Duress Crew does some sort of data collection on the top decks, and or not just the top decks, but most of the decks in the format and their kind of win-loss record. And I guess Terravore Oath has put up pretty good results over the past year or two. So if you want to beat up on that deck, should be pretty evident. This is probably the best deck to play. Withered Wretch, a real house. Go ahead and play the third Dystopia if you really want to stick it to the Vor. But yeah, otherwise, it's been a good run. I think the deck's legit. Hope you enjoyed watching, and we will catch you next time.